Chosen one. There is another reason people are shocked by your fearlessness. It is because they remember the moments when you were wounded. They remember the moments when life seemed unfair to you, when things fell apart. And in those moments, many people quietly assumed that you would never fully recover. They believed the weight of everything you went through would eventually break your spirit. But what they never understood was that your story was never meant to end in defeat. Because chosen ones are not defined by the storms they face, they are defined by the way they rise after the storm passes. And your rise has been something powerful to witness, even if many people pretend they do not notice it. The truth is, people are watching you more than you realize. They are watching your comeback like a movie they cannot turn off. Some are watching because they admire your courage, but others are watching because they are confused. They cannot understand how someone who went through what you went through is still standing, still smiling, still moving forward. What they fail to realize is that every challenge you faced was shaping your spirit. Every obstacle was strengthening your character. Every moment when you felt alone was quietly building your independence. You discovered a new level of strength inside yourself. That strength did not appear overnight. It was built slowly, through silent battles that no one else could see, through nights when you questioned everything, and moments when you had to rebuild your faith from the ground up. You weren't just surviving the darkness, you were redesigning your soul within it. Those moments were not easy, but something deep inside your spirit refused to surrender. That inner voice kept whispering to you, keep going, keep rising, keep believing. And slowly, step by step, you listened to that voice. You started rebuilding your life. You started rebuilding your confidence. And while the world may not have noticed it immediately, the transformation was happening. Chosen one, transformation is rarely loud. It happens when you choose to heal instead of staying bitter. It happens when you choose growth instead of revenge. Those quiet choices eventually create a powerful shift, a shift in the way you think, a shift in the way you carry yourself. You no longer carry the heavy energy of someone who doubts themselves. You no longer move like someone who is afraid of the world. Instead, you move with a calm kind of power, a quiet certainty, a deep inner knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. That kind of energy cannot be faked. It comes only from someone who has faced their pain honestly, someone who has chosen growth again and again. Chosen one. Many people never reach that level of self-awareness. They spend their entire lives running from their fears, hiding from the version of themselves they could become. But you did something different. You looked at your pain directly. Your old wounds didn't leave you broken. They became your warrior marks. You discovered that you are capable of far more than you once believed. That discovery is life-changing, because once someone realizes their true strength, they can never fully return to their old limitations. They cannot go back to pretending they are powerless. They cannot go back to shrinking themselves just to make others comfortable. This is why your fearlessness surprises people. You have outgrown the cage they thought would hold you forever. They expected you to stay in the role they assigned to you. They expected you to remain quiet and remain uncertain. But you stepped out of that role. You stepped into your truth. And now people are seeing a version of you they never imagined. A version that speaks with confidence. A version that moves with purpose. A version that refuses to apologize for their growth. For some, that is difficult to accept. When someone rises beyond the limitations others placed on them, it forces everyone around them to adjust their perception. Some will celebrate your evolution, but others will resist it. They will try to remind you of your past. They will try to pull you back into old patterns and convince you that you are changing too much. But chosen one, growth always feels uncomfortable to those who are not ready for it. Your journey was never meant to stay comfortable. It was meant to transform you, to prepare you, to awaken the strength inside your spirit. So when people look at you with surprise now, when they whisper about how different you seem, remember this: your courage is simply the result of everything you have overcome. It is the result of every moment when you chose growth instead of surrender. That courage will continue guiding you forward because the path ahead of you is bigger than the one behind you. New doors are waiting to open. New opportunities are waiting to appear. And many of those blessings will come precisely because you refuse to hide, because you chose to stand in your truth. The world tries to convince people that playing small is the safest choice. But deep down, you already know something different. True peace does not come from hiding your light. True peace comes from living authentically. Once someone begins living authentically, life starts responding differently. Opportunities begin aligning with your energy. The right people begin finding their way into your life. The path begins to feel clearer, not because everything becomes easy, but because your spirit becomes stronger. And when your spirit becomes stronger, challenges no longer feel like obstacles. They feel like stepping stones, each one pushing you further toward your destiny. If you have been noticing the surprised looks, the curious stares, or the quiet conversations happening when people think you are not paying attention, do not let it distract you. Those reactions are simply proof that your transformation is visible. People are seeing your growth. They are seeing the fearless energy you now carry. Whether they admit it or not, it is leaving a mark on their souls. Chosen one, you were never meant to hide. You were never meant to live in fear, or to dim your light just to keep others comfortable. You are meant to rise. You are meant to grow. Very few individuals ever reach the point where they truly live without fear controlling their decisions. But you are reaching that point. You are stepping into a chosen one. The reason this shift is so shocking to others is that you have stopped playing the game of social mirroring. For years, you subconsciously adjusted your volume to match the room. You dimmed your light so others wouldn't feel blinded. You were a master of survival. But now you have become a master of your own frequency. This is the stage of the great detachment. You are realizing that you no longer have the energy to argue with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. When someone tries to pull you back into an old drama, you simply look at them with peace. You don't react, you don't defend, you don't even explain. That silence, that is your most, this fearlessness you now carry, is the foundation for your true mission. You aren't just growing, you are pioneering. You are showing everyone in your bloodline that it is possible to break the chains of generational trauma without permission. You are proving that a person can be broken into 1,000 pieces and come back together as a masterpiece. As you move forward, notice how your luck is beginning to change. You might call it synchronicity. You think of a person, and they call. You need a resource, and it appears. You wonder about a direction, and a sign shows up on your path. This is because you are finally in alignment. When your internal state is fearless, the external universe has no choice but to reflect that power back to you. The shock in people's eyes is a sign that you are successful. It is a sign that you have successfully escaped the matrix of mediocrity. Do not feel guilty for your expansion. Do not apologize for the space you take up. The lighthouse does not apologize to the ships for being too bright. It simply shines so they can find their way home. You are entering the empowerment phase. This is where you stop being the one who needs help and start being the one who is the help. Your very presence in a room will start to heal people even if you never say a word. Your energy will trigger awakenings in others just by you standing in your truth. This is the highest level of the chosen one path. You have moved from the storm to the sun, and though the world may be shocked, your soul is simply saying, "Finally, I am home." Chosen one, as you settle into this fearless version of yourself, something even more beautiful begins to happen. The isolation you once felt starts to dissolve. For years, you were the only one who saw the truth, the only one who wanted to heal, the only one who felt out of place. But that isolation was a protective cocoon. Now that you have emerged, the universe is beginning to connect you with your true soul tribe. These are the people who will not be shocked by your light because they carry a match for it. These are the mentors, the partners, and the friends who don't need you to shrink. In fact, they will pull you higher. You are moving from a life of fitting in to a life of belonging, and there is a massive difference. Fitting in requires you to change who you are, but belonging only requires you to be who you are. The people who are shocked by your growth are simply the ones who cannot come where you are going, and that is okay. Bless them and let them go. Your energy is now a filter. It is filtering out the noise so you can hear the symphony of your true destiny. You are no longer building a life based on shoulds or family expectations. You are building a life based on alignment. Think of your life as a garden. For years you were trying to grow flowers in a desert. No matter how hard you worked, it was exhausting. But now, you have moved to fertile ground. Your efforts are finally yielding fruit. Your joy is becoming effortless. Your peace is becoming your default state. This is what it means to live as a master of reality. You aren't just reacting to life anymore, you are co-creating it with the divine. The shock you see in the eyes of others is merely the sound of a closing door. And behind you, 1,000 new doors are swaying wide open. Walk through them with your head high. You have earned this moment. You have survived the fire, and now, you get to enjoy the warmth of the sun. If this message confirmed what you have been feeling in your soul, it is time to anchor that truth. In the comments below, type, "I am no longer hiding," to claim your new power. If you found strength in these words, please subscribe and join our community of light. We are walking this path together, and your presence makes us stronger. Share this with one person who needs to remember their own strength today. Keep moving forward, keep trusting your path, and keep shining. The greatest chapters of your story are still being written.